What do you think this is all about? You think this is a fucking costume? This is a way of life.
Hey Ballbusters, Bates here with your friend and mine, Ray Mungus, and we are finally back on episode 20 of Way of Life Live. How you doing tonight, Mungus?
I'm glad that we finally made it to episode 20. How are you?
I could be better, but it is what it is.
Yeah, same here. I'm feeling rested for once. I had I don't even know, maybe 7 hours of sleep in the last 48 hours, which has been fun. But then again, that's my life.
Yeah, that's really nothing new for you.
Yeah, for the most part. But when you add a few shifts of work in there and some backbreaking labor, you're just like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Well, hopefully you're getting used to a new sleeping schedule.
Not getting used to, but I'm making the best of the shitty one that I have in order to make this stuff happen. Slowly but surely, I'm taking advantage of my days off a little better than I was. And finally starting to find my own groove.
Well, there you go. I mean, I guess that's all you can ask for at this point.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, if I want to keep doing this stuff at least, so I'm making do and making the best of it.
Good to hear. At least you're making money, so that always helps.
Yes, it does. I'm hoping to take that money and start upgrading some of the few things on my computer. Possibly get a webcam because I'm considering starting to do some videos for the website, which is really weird considering I don't want to do anything. I don't want to have anything to do with video ever on me. But I'm going a little out of my comfort zone, so we'll see what the future holds.
Yeah, taking one for the team, huh?
Yeah, why not? And that wouldn't be the only person taking one for the team. You just put together a pretty awesome video, which we're going to be talking about a little bit later.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it awesome. I wanted to make it so much nicer, and I got like halfway through it, and I'm like, fuck these videos. I'm just going to add pictures now. Pictures are good.
The good thing about it, though, is it's different than what I expected. And if you don't know what video we're talking about, check out our channel after the podcast. It says Bates Theory, What Happens in Avengers Infinity War. He put together a really nice video. He doesn't think so, but it's mostly speculation mixed with fact and everything of everything we think might happen or he thinks might happen in Infinity War. But when you told me that you were writing a script for a video, I didn't quite expect it to be that. And you hit every beat, I thought.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, that was kind of the idea behind it. And hopefully once Tom and LR see it, they kind of get an idea on what I was talking about, and they will start sending me their recordings and stuff, and I will start putting together more videos in that vein for everything that we do here on Way of Life.
Yeah, for sure. It actually inspired me to try to do a little bit of that on Dead Entertainment. We've been trying to get the YouTube channel up and running a little bit. We hit a little bit of a speed bump because, as you heard on the last episode, Monster Mania wasn't as great as it normally is. And as a result, we dealt with a lot of frustration and lost time. So we weren't able to get as much content as we wanted for from the convention. So I'm looking for different ways to kind of bolster that that loss. We try to improve upon it, and that video got my mind thinking. So some good. You're gonna get if you follow both of our channels, Way of Life Network, Dead Entertainment, and the third channel, Matt's Gaming channel, you should be expecting a lot of cool videos and things like that coming soon.
Yeah, I'm hoping to be able to put out more videos like that in the future. It's just getting a little hard to do work here in this little apartment, and at this point right now, I don't know when I'm going to be home because every week it seems like something gets in the way and pushes back our move-in date. We were actually supposed to start moving in
At the beginning of the month, right?
In about a week, we were supposed to start moving shit in, and as of right now, my appliances are still going to get delivered, but the rest of the house is not going to be finished until I can somehow wrangle PSE&G to get over to the house and install the electric and gas meter.
Oh boy, it sounds like quite the feat.
Yeah, so it's not going well on that front. So
Yeah,
I don't know when I'll be able to really sit down and concentrate on this stuff. My space is very limited now because now I have 2 computers set up between my legs. So where I'm sitting right now, for anybody watching, they can see me on the webcam. I have my desk. And, it's not a big desk. I actually will get another one of these desks when I move into my house. And I have a little bit. I had a good amount of room before with just my one computer. But now I added a second computer next to me, and yeah, so I don't have a whole lot of room now, and it's actually kind of necessary for me when I want to stream games. I have to, for whatever reason, Windows 10 is just acting like a fool and just wants to ruin any chance of me being able to game and stream from one computer now. So I need a second computer to stream from.
it's kind of frustrating. Like when we're trying to do these little channels and everything, we're by no means paid. We both work relatively full-time jobs on top of everything that we do for the channel, and then we have to like take 2 steps forward and 1 step back with every little project we do. And like you're trying to do the game streaming and everything, and it's like, oh, everything's all good, it's working all fine and dandy, and then you have to take 1 step back because Windows 10 decides to be a prick.
Yeah, I don't know what it was on my old computer. I really never had any issues, and then about a week ago on a couple of my last streams that I did, everything was fine. It was like 2 nights ago. I was trying to play Street Fighter 5, and the frames on OBS were just awful. They were going from like 20 to 30. I couldn't, not even 30, and I could not get them to stay steady at 60 or 48 or anything. It was just almost unwatchable. So I got ahead and set up my other computer and set up this. It's called an NDI plugin, and I tested it really quick. I haven't tested it on stream yet, but you can kind of get a good idea with OBS open, and you can see the frame drops. It was running at a constant 60 FPS with not a single frame drop. So
That's pretty good. I'm glad that you kind of wrangled that back into position at least.
well, I gotta do it. I'm gonna have to do a test stream and see if it stays like that while I'm actually streaming and gaming. So
Fingers crossed.
all right, so let us go ahead and dive into what we're gonna talk about this week.
Got a lot of stuff.
Yeah, a little bit. We're gonna kind of speed through some of the smaller ancillary things, but
With that, it's just been a lot of time that's passed since we truly did a news episode. Like we missed a week because of our snowstorm and power outages. Then we jumped back in with a Monster Mania review, and then we missed 2 back to back, unfortunately. And it's like the news doesn't stop just because we do. So I mean, some of it's piled up, and some of it's new, and some of it's long irrelevant.
when I have things my way, the news will stop until I say it's okay to continue.
Calm down, Thanos.
But before we get into the news, just want to remind everybody that episode 3 of Metal Beer Horror is finally out.
And being ignored, so go fucking listen to it, man.
Yeah, not really. Yeah, I mean, we're still a very small channel. I guess, when you only have 30 or so subscribers, you really can't expect a video to get too many views. But the first 2 episodes did not well, but, better than we thought they would. So we kind of had, the same expectations for episode 3, and they just didn't get up there. But it's no big deal. We'll keep pushing it and spreading it out there. have you guys listen to it. It was actually a pretty good episode. Episode 4 is probably our best episode to date. That is going to be out hopefully at the end of next week. But if not, the following week, because we don't have anything else recorded at the moment. So
Yeah, I think we could get away with pushing it an additional week, but I'll back that up. Episode 1, 2, and 3 were a lot of fun. That's our like fun personality. And episode 4, we kind of went ham on debate. You know, like we got fired up with one another, and you know, we've been all friends for what, like 15 plus years. Tom and Anthony have been friends for well over 20 years. So when we get fired up, we don't pull any punches, and that's basically what episode 4's big discussions about, which is nuts.
yeah, shit got real.
Yeah, a little too real. I wasn't expecting it when it happened. When Anthony brought up a couple points that led to confrontation, I was just like, whoa, I didn't even bring my gloves.
Yeah, LR was the spoon on episode 4.
That he was. So you just gotta give our little podcast a shot, and definitely check out episode 4, because you know, like once you get comfortable with 1, 2, and 3 and how happy go lucky and funny and random we could be, yeah, we really have it out on episode 4.
You know, before we really dive into our shit, I was just thinking about this the other day. You know, I've heard similar podcasts to ours and similar, you know, YouTube channels that discuss shit like us, horror stuff, and you know, maybe some other stuff that talk about metal and whatever. And a lot of that stuff also is not scripted. Not that we're scripted, but it all seems very tame.
Yeah, they hold back a little bit.
They do. There's 1 or 2 horror YouTube channels that I watch. Well, I don't. One of them I don't watch anymore because I think the people on are a bunch of dickheads. But I'm not even gonna name them. But when I used to watch their stuff, it used to be just very, very tame. They really used to hold back and watch their tongues, and it just didn't seem real. But like when you listen to us 4 together, it's kind of a no holds bar, you know, free for all.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, we try to stay relatively positive on the chat on this podcast in general, but I mean, me and you have had our like we've taken a few punches and thrown a few ourselves, and I guess the same could be said about our website too. Like when it comes to the opinion pieces, we don't really pull any punches. And one funny thing that I bring up is your Chucky article, when you kind of trash Seed of Chucky, and then the creator of Chucky, Don Mancini, took note when he responded to your article. Like he said something along the lines of like, sure, I'll check out the other article, even though you made Glenn/Glenda sad. like you just, we tweeted the article at him, good for better or worse, and you know, we were not worried about hurting his feelings because of the way we felt about a movie. And I think that's how journalism needs to be, that how podcasting needs to be. Just don't worry about pleasing everybody. Give your opinions and have fun. Try to stay positive. Don't go in there like some asshole and just like, this fucking sucks, blah blah blah. Just like, be real. And I think filmmakers and anybody who watch appreciate it a little more.
Yeah, I mean, if you know if you're writing about something, whether it be a movie, an album review, anything, and the person and the creator of that can't take some constructive criticism, they need to fucking retire.
And the same goes for the people who write it. Like they shouldn't, their main goal shouldn't be like affirmation.
Tiptoeing.
Yeah, well, I'm saying they shouldn't be affirmation from the people they're writing about. They shouldn't go in with a goal of trying to get a like from one of the directors or one of the musicians. They should be honest about it. And if the, you know, overly positive is honest, then right on, go for it. But I feel like they go into these things just so that they could get a retweet or a like or whatever.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that when I was writing that piece, but that was very pleasant. I was very happy with myself after finding out that Don Mancini had had read my piece. I fucking
Yeah, like you don't really think about that stuff when you're writing. You're just like, oh, well, let's tag them in it in case we get a retweet, because then more people could check out our article. That's my only mentality when I tag these people. I don't look for, pats on the back or anything like that. If I get one, cool. That's that's a good feeling. But at the same time, it's like I want to spread our content because I think it's legitimately good. And the same goes for the podcasting. Just we go in, we don't tiptoe around shit, and we do our best to get good content out there and to get it out to people. So like I feel like we're keeping it real, and I love the path we're taking with this channel and Dead Entertainment.
yeah, and it's only gonna get better. So yeah, so I was just thinking about that, how we don't really pull our punches. I mean, we're not trying to be directly hurtful or negative towards anyone or anything, but we're not gonna sugarcoat shit. I mean, if we hear an album or a song or watch a movie that's shit, we're gonna tell you it's shit. Um, and
Was
it,
that buzzard hollowed beef?
oh, good lord,
That's a whole other podcast.
worst fucking movie. That movie still upsets me with how bad it was. This was the Room of horror movies.
Oh boy, I mean that's gonna get people to watch it. Don't say that.
Yeah,
But if you want to,
I still don't understand what everybody's fucking fascination with that piece of shit movie is.
yeah, I didn't hear about it till it became a meme, and I still don't really care. So, but if you want to check out Matt's article or Bates's article, whatever you want to call him, deadentertainment.com, look for his review on Buzzard Hollowed Beef. But I mean, go check out the Chucky article while you're there too, because that was a good one.
Indeed. All right, so let us. Well, first, let's just, I guess, touch on some quick news that we've missed over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah. I guess
Um,
there's the biggest one was probably the Oscars. I think that was like one of the biggest bomb in the horror movie world.
yeah, a good bomb, not a bad bomb.
Oh yeah, no, but
Not like a Justice League bomb.
no, definitely not. Just something that many of us were hoping for, but we never expected would happen.
Yeah, Get Out won some shit. Shape of Water.
Best original screenplay, I believe.
Yes.
For Get Out, and I don't even want to name how many Shape of Water won because they've basically cleaned house. Like it was an Oscar grab movie. Just think of that, like a monster movie won Best Picture and Best Director. Those are the top tier ones, plus a slew of other awards. Like go look them up. I'll wait.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I won't wait.
It was The Shape of Water was this year's La La Land. So.
Except it was good. So.
Yeah.
And it couldn't have been to a better person. Like Guillermo is so deserving of that recognition, and it feels good that it finally came full circle. And we've talked about the Oscars endlessly in other podcasts, but I felt like not bringing up the Oscars would be a disservice to all the excitement we've had since speculation started happening around September, October.
Yes.
That movie would possibly be an Oscar contender, and here we are living in a world where it took home the granddaddy of them all.
Indeed. I sadly have still not seen it, but I will.
I was going to watch it this past weekend, but various things happened. Life's a little crazy right now, but soon I'm probably going to write something for it too.
But we definitely want to send out congratulations to everybody who worked on Get Out and The Shape of Water. You guys deserved your recognitions. The world, the horror world, looks on with admiration, and what you guys have done is effectively open the door for horror movie writers, directors, creators, etc. to step up their game and now know that there is a place in the Academy for horror and monster movies. So you guys really paved the way, and it's It's only going to get better. Now, I only wish this happened a few years ago when The Witch came out, because I am still deeply offended that The Witch didn't even get an Oscar nod for at least Best Original Screenplay. But
Yeah, I agree with you there.
But it is what it is. We can't go back in time and fix that. I think that if The Witch were to come out next year after, this past Oscars, I think shit would be different now. But, it's that can't happen. So we'll have to look forward, and hopefully a couple of horror people will step up their game.
Yeah, I think the best thing you said there was that it opened doors, and like you said, we can't go back in time, but now that option is there, and people could step through it. And I don't even think people have to step up their game. Just the fact that that door was broken down leads me to think that movies that are quality, that are already out there, that are going unnoticed because of whatever reason, now have an actual chance to be recognized in that sort of light. And I realize that these awards don't necessarily mean the world. The film should speak for itself, but at the same time, for true artists like Guillermo and Jordan Peele, I I think they're at least deserving of that sort of recognition, and I'm glad that they're finally getting it.
Indeed. So we have that to look forward to in the years to come. Another quick news piece that we just need to touch on is just the overall success of Black Panther, which has been crazy.
Mind blowing. I did not. You know what? I'm not even gonna say I didn't expect it to do this well. I truly did. Leading up to it, all signs pointed towards success, and the movie lived up. I finally seen it 2 weeks ago, something like that, and I saw it twice in a week. It was that good.
So just to put it into quick perspective, right now, just the domestic gross alone from Black Panther is only $3 million behind the worldwide gross of Justice League.
How did I know you were gonna go there?
Because I always go there.
Yep.
654 million just domestic for Black Panther, and Justice League brought in worldwide 657 million. Ouch.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But congratulations to the entire Black Panther team and everyone at Marvel for just fucking killing it.
Yeah, I don't want to dive too much into Black Panther, but the quality of that movie is insane. Like if you have not seen that movie, I highly recommend it. And this is not just coming from a Marvel fanboy, but a true fan of cinema in general. It was a well put together movie, very very well written. The set design, just everything. Like I can't speak more positively about it.
And lastly, we got a couple new trailers for Deadpool 2 and Infinity War.
Yes, and quality trailers at that.
Yeah, the Deadpool trailer was funny and exciting as one would expect, and the Infinity War trailer, I mean, the hype is there. There's nothing you can do anymore to hype up this movie anymore. It's
It's like breathtaking, that trailer. It's ridiculous how I don't know, like I'm at a loss of words of how great that trailer is and how hyped up I am about the movie.
I mean, every time I even think about it, or I see a TV spot, or I rewatch a trailer, it's just like this is the culmination of 10 years and what, 17, 18 movies, and it's finally come down to this.
I'm a little nervous that they're going to have to do that climb again once the sequel to Infinity War, or the next Avengers movie, let's call it that. Once that happens, they're going to have to rebuild and build to something bigger like they've been doing. But I'm at the same time extremely excited that we've finally made it to this point, and the quality of film hasn't gone down. In fact, dare I say, some of the earlier Marvel movies were less quality than where they are currently.
Yeah.
It's unprecedented. You don't see that in cinema. You don't see this continued support and quality level this far into a franchise. Usually a studio drops off, a producer stops caring or whatnot. But Lord, Kevin Feige, he's doing the Lord's work. Like, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know how he manages this, but fucking hats off to him.
We were talking about that at lunchtime yesterday. Like, I don't think there's been a franchise ever to do what the Marvel movies are doing. Like, you could say Godzilla had a very long-running franchise, but the quality wasn't there. Certainly the box office intake wasn't there, and I don't think we've ever experienced something like this. And it's fascinating that we're living through it.
Yeah, James Bond you could say the same for.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But yeah, no. After that second Infinity War.
Infinity Water.
Yeah, I combined the words war and trailer, and got.
Which is really, it's really funny because I just picked up my gallon of water when you said that.
After the second Infinity War trailer dropped, got it. Tickets went on sale for the movie, and I immediately bought a ticket for a reserved seating. So I got a nice big comfy seat. Normally I don't do that, but this is a 2.5-hour movie, and I want to recline and relax and enjoy myself. This is going to be an event. I'm going to get myself a big old bottle of popcorn and a nice soda. I don't drink soda, but I'm drinking soda, and I'm going to enjoy myself. And I got to say, quick shout out. After I bought my ticket, I bought it through Fandango. And when you bought the advance tickets through Fandango, you got a poster. And I got my poster a few days ago, but the United States Postal Service, who can bite me, decided, oh, let's just throw this big flat envelope into a pile of snow on the front steps. That's gonna end well.
Pile of slushy snow, no less.
Oh yeah, wet, heavy snow.
It was gross.
And so I opened up my envelope, and my poster, the entire bottom of the poster, was soaked and ruined, and now the bottom of the poster is all curled up. Well, not super curled up, but you can obviously see there's water damage. And I complained for about 2 days between USPS, who has not answered me, and to Fandango. And I got an email, I think earlier today, that Fandango was sorry that this happened, and they are sending me a replacement poster. So a wonderful thank you and shout out to Fandango for a pretty speedy response, I gotta say. Even 2 days, that's a pretty fast response in my opinion. So, and I guess that's awesome. So cheers to Fandango for making things right and making me happy.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I don't blame you for complaining. I took a look at that poster, and those posters that you get from pre-ordering tickets are gorgeous.
Yeah, I have it behind me. You can have my damaged one.
I don't want that. I'll just eBay it if I want them. I gotta up. I'm not to get too far off the subject, but I definitely need to start adding a little more Marvel art to my collection. So we better be hitting that local Comic-Con at the end of the month.
Yeah, we'll see. I gotta wait for my brother to finish doing my tax return so I can pay off this computer, and then I'll be good to go.
Right on.
All right, so now let's get into the real meat and potatoes of the episode, and we are going to dive into the most recent of horror news. Don't say anything, we have a bumper.
All right. Is it done? I'm never living that down, am I?
No, I'm probably gonna fucking warn you every time too. Every segment, shut up. We got a bumper.
And I like that time was so awkward because like I was like, oh, is he going to get another beer? Is he making me do this segment? All right, well here it goes. I'm talking over the bumper.
Because you got to remember that I play the bumpers on my end, so he doesn't hear them because he's not listening. He only hears me. He doesn't hear the intro or any of the pre-stream music or anything like that. So
I'll get there though. I'll definitely get there, especially with the warnings.
He has to go on by what I'm saying and then just kind of play off of that. He's still not going to live it down though.
Fair enough. I'll accept it.
Anyway, so Ash versus Evil Dead. So season 3 has been going on right now, and sadly I do not have Stars anymore, so I cannot watch it until it happens to be on Netflix.
But I do, and it has been. I've heard it described as event television, like must-watch television each week. And having been all caught up with this season so far, I couldn't agree with those words more. It's just like the amount of crap that they push on this show and the bar that they've like tried to reach every week is just it's destroyed. They don't even worry about having to go up and above it or struggle at all. They just plow right through it, and my God, the show is great.
I mean, I loved the first 2 seasons, so I'm only going to assume that season 3 is going to be just as good, if not better. But it seems like there is a good chance. Sorry, I had the hiccups. It seems like there's going to be a good shot of season 4 not happening.
Yeah, many of us expected that season 3 wasn't going to happen because there was a little bit of a delay in production. They missed the October season premiere time. Like basically, there was zero news about Ash versus Evil Dead, and fans are on the edge of their seat waiting to hear when in October it was going to premiere, like usual. And that time came and gone. And after a lot of fan ruckus, they finally announced they were going to do a 3rd season. And it's the way they set it up. It seemed like Starz decided to set it up to fail, putting it up against The Walking Dead, the Oscars. It comes on now, 9 o'clock, something like that, on Sundays. That's during Walking Dead time, and it just seems like they're purposely leading the show to not do well so that they don't have to deal with it anymore. And it looks like it's on the verge of cancellation because ratings are significantly down.
And I don't get it. I mean, fans were clamoring for more Ash for years and years and years, myself included. And now it's they're not supporting the show, whether they're downloading it illegally or I don't even know, but I don't know where all these fans have disappeared to and turned their back on, this beloved horror icon.
Yeah, it's really weird because it's not like they changed anything too much from the days of Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness. This is the exact popular Ash that we grew up loving. The slapsticky humor is still there. They add a ton of gore. They don't pull any punches when it comes to the gore, and the horror elements are pretty damn good, pretty impressive. And on top of that, they added new elements to keep the show fresh. So this show is essentially exactly what fans have been clamoring for years. And now that it's out there, I don't know why people are just shunning it, ignoring it, not caring about it. I don't even know.
Well, all I'm gonna say is, you fans need to wake up. If you have Stars, start supporting the damn show. Start watching it on Netflix, seasons 1 and 2, if you haven't already, because when the Child's Play TV show comes out, you damn well better be watching that show.
Yeah, I agree. And I don't think Stars is just the only way to watch it. Correct me if I'm wrong. You might not know either, but like there are means to watch episodes online after they air, and this is not through illegal downloading. Like you could purchase episodes through iTunes, you could purchase episodes through Amazon, things like that. And it's not like it's the price of a DVD or something. Maybe you'll spend a couple bucks on an episode, but if you don't have the cable package or the means to get it, try to support it that way, because the more numbers that people give to the show, the bigger chance that we're going to get another season. And the show is completely deserving of all the recognition it gets. And it's exactly what we've wanted for years. So get out there and watch it one way or another.
Yeah, so support it. Um, as I said, it's something that fans have been wishing for. They've wanted this character back, and they finally got him. So let's keep him back. And it's in the same vein with fans clamoring for the return of Monster Vision, and we're getting really, really close to Monster Vision coming back. You just got to keep being adamant about it and keep supporting the idea and letting people know you want it back.
Yeah, I agree. And I just want to add a small thing before we move on. And it's the mentality of horror fans always piping up about horror not being what it used to be, or they don't make them like they did back in the day. They're filmmakers and producers that are going out of their way to bring the icons that you love back, okay, and do so in ways that are true to true to the characters, true to the series. Chucky is one of them. Critters is coming back with a television show. Um, Ash versus Evil Dead. They're bringing back original people in the Halloween franchise, things like that. They are catering to the fan that says these movies are not like they used to be, and those people are still not showing up. So if you're one of them, give these things a shot. Start opening your mind to it and watch this stuff.
Indeed. All right, moving on. Speaking of returns, Leslie Vernon looks like we're finally, after what, a decade, getting the sequel we were promised.
Yeah, after 12 years of a rough patch of trying to get this thing off the ground, it finally looks like it's happening. To give a small backstory of everything that's been going on since they announced the sequel, right after the movie came out in 2007, I think it was made in 2006, came out in 2007, straight to DVD, instant cult hit as far as I'm concerned. They announced that they were writing another movie, and it was supposed to be a prequel slash remake or reboot type of thing. It was a commentary on the obsession with rebooting things or doing prequels and things like that. So it's supposed to be a real unique take on the series. But in any case, they decided they were going to crowdfund the movie because at that time they were only remaking horror movies and trying to bring Japanese cinema to the US via remakes. So it was real tough to get a straight to DVD sequel off the ground. So essentially they moved on to Kickstarter, which was like 3 years old at the time. People were relatively lukewarm on the concept of paying for a movie to get made. So unfortunately, the campaign didn't succeed, and it had a lot of speed bumps over the years to try to get made. But what seems to have launched the movie into finally getting a sequel the way that we should have 10 years ago, I think it was Nathan Thomas Milliner. He basically took the script of Before the Mask, The Return of Leslie Vernon, which is a sequel, and adapted it into a comic book series that kind of like did a pretty like got off the ground pretty well, and that kind of re-sparked an interest in the franchise, and now it seems like we're getting a movie. Out of the blue, I think it was March 28th, the official Facebook page for Before the Mask updated with a picture that shows what looks like a table read amongst the director, the writer, and the stars of the original movie. And it said, "Uh-oh, what the hell is going on here? Anyone, hashtag movie magic, hashtag it's happening." So it looks like it's legitimately happening after 12 years, which is fucking crazy to me.
Yeah, I mean, I've actually only watched the first movie. I think I've seen it twice, but it was definitely like super unique, and even to this day, it's still crazy unique. You haven't seen another film like it. And what they accomplished with it, I thought was something super impressive. And I always felt it was the type of movie that really deserved a sequel. It didn't technically need one, but it deserved one.
Right, exactly. And the thing I felt that it did most well for the slasher genre was the fact that at that point in 2006, probably was written around 2005, we had already beaten the hell out of the concept of the I Know What You Did Last Summer / Scream ripoffs that have been, put out for years and years. And at that point, people were sick of slasher movies again. So it's like, where do you go next with a slasher flick after many of those type of movies? And what the writer David Steve and the director Scott Glosserman did was take the slasher genre and peel back the curtain, reveal who Oz really is. And in this movie, if you haven't seen it, essentially what it is it's a mockumentary that goes through the life of a Michael Myers-like killer. They take the mask off of the guy, and you learn what it's like of him planning out his whole murderous rampage. And you basically get a peek into the planning process, very tongue-in-cheek sort of peek at what goes into a movie like Halloween if that person is just an average guy, not some sort of mythological monster or something.
Yeah, it when you put it that way, it actually reminds me of of a little bit that they did on Robot Chicken with it was a Friday the 13th bit, and on any day that wasn't Friday the 13th, you see Jason just going about his day normally. Like, he goes out shopping to the supermarket, he wakes up and he makes a cup of coffee, and he looks at the calendar every day, and he's just so sad. And then, a Friday the 13th comes up, and he goes crazy, and he goes to his camp, and he kills all the counselors and all the teenagers and everything. And then Saturday the 14th comes up, and
back to the usual process, right?
Back to the everyday grind and going back to the supermarket.
If you remember, in October, Ben from Fright Rags did a short film
Yes.
called November 1st. It was a very similar concept. They basically told the story of Michael Myers the day after Halloween, like he's doing laundry, he's watching his television shows, like it's a whole different world. He goes to the bakery, I think, and there's a nice little cameo in that scene. So it's really interesting to take this sort of genre and say, hey, you know what? Like, there's nowhere left to go with it. Let's reveal the mind behind a person that does this stuff if he's a legitimate person. So this movie is an ultra unique film. I highly recommend seeking it out if you haven't seen it. It just got released on Scream by Scream Factory in this like jam-packed Blu-ray. So the movie's called Behind the Mask: The Rise of Leslie Vernon, and the sequel is currently in production, pre-production. So we're gonna basically stay on top of that. It's one of my favorite slasher movies of the last 10, 20 maybe even 20 years.
So funny that you even brought up Halloween again, because moving forward.
Ooh, look at that.
Yeah.
I don't even want to say it because I'm gonna mess up the quote. Nice dissolve. Right? Did I fuck it up?
No, you got it that time.
Boom.
For a change, you finally got that quote. So I didn't know this until I actually read this article, but I thought Nick Castle was the only one playing the Shape in the new Halloween movie. But apparently Nick Castle is only going to be in a couple of scenes. And our new Michael Myers, aka the Shape, is a stuntman and actor by the name of James Courtney. Not really familiar with him at all.
No, he seems like a relatively newcomer to the series. A lot of people are offended by this. A lot of people are really riled up by the fact that Nick Castle is not fully reprising his role as Michael Myers, but rather just cameoing in a few scenes. And this one guy, James Jude Courtney, is he's taking over the reins, for good. And I don't know how old Nick Castle is, but he's up there. He has to be 70. In his 60s. He's 70?
70.
Yeah, so he can't be doing all of the stunts to begin with. He could do a lot of the walking around scenes and stuff like that, but they knew going into this that he was never going to be able to be the full shape, and it had to be a joint effort. People are pissed. I think it is great that they brought him in because it really ties back to the original, and it shows that the roots are appreciated. You know, like they respect where the film came from.
Yeah. And if this offends you, you need to grow some thicker skin and
Yes.
um, realize that dude is 70. 70. All right.
Hmm.
What do you expect him to do? You expect him to fall off balconies again?
Well, funny that you mentioned that. I want to point something out that somebody on Facebook that I'm friends with brought up about this. And your beloved memories of Nick Castle running around as the Shape in the original Halloween, they are not exactly as you remember them. I'm going to go through this really, really quick just to point this out. But Nick Castle wasn't the only Michael Myers in Halloween. It was kind of a very indie project, and they pretty much threw the mask on anybody possible. And one of my friends on Facebook went through this, and I'm going to go over it real quick. When Tommy Doyle sees Michael Myers outside of his house, it's Deborah Hill playing Michael Myers. Okay, female Michael Myers. Nick Castle attacks Jamie Lee around the house near the end. Jamie Lee goes in the closet. Tommy Lee Wallace is the one that attacks her in the closet. She leaves the closet, and Nick Castle is the one that wakes up behind her to attack her again. Jamie Lee rips off his mask, and it's Tony Moran playing Michael Myers. Dr. Loomis shoots Nick Castle, and then Jim Wilburn falls out of the balcony. Okay? So fuck you and you're whining about Nick Castle not playing the full Michael Myers. It's a joint effort. You need a legitimate stuntman that's of age. Get over it.
Yeah, I got nothing left to say about it. I love the fact that they're bringing Nick in to at least do some cameo work, and I did think he was going to do the entire movie, but I'm not upset learning otherwise. It does not bother me. It makes complete sense, and I am not offended by it in any way.
And look at all the series, you know how many Michael Myers they've been throughout the series. Like don't get all worked up about this. Now we have another person to listen to talk about playing Michael Myers at the conventions. And look at it that way. Like he's going to have a lot of cool stories about hanging out with Nick Castle on the set and sharing that time with him in that experience. So let's welcome James Courtney into the whole fold and appreciate this contribution to the next step of the franchise.
Indeed. Okay, so some of the biggest news to drop in the last 2 to 3 weeks in the horror world is the official um, start of production of Three from Hell. For anyone who is unfamiliar or has not heard or is just living under a goddamn rock, Three from Hell is the official sequel to The Devil's Rejects. Yes, we are finally getting a sequel to The Devil's Rejects. We have no idea what the story is about, what happens, whether they're maybe possibly retconning the end of Devil's Rejects. I don't know what they're doing, but that's not what we're going to be discussing right now. We've already talked about those theories in previous episodes and on an episode of MBH, so we're not going to dive into that. What we're going to just really look at is the massive amount of casting news we have gotten over the last 2 weeks.
A lot of familiar faces and people like Rob Zombie's doing what he used to do, like bringing stars from movies that he grew up watching, and it's kind of exciting that a lot of these people are joining the cast.
Yeah, well, he's also bringing back multiple actors and actresses that he's worked with, multiple times again.
And even characters from the original movie that are outside of like the main actors. Like we're getting what was it just announced the other day that Danny Trejo's returning as Rondo.
Yes, Danny Trejo returning as Rondo. Rondo was in The Devil's Rejects. Rondo was one of two bounty hunters, basically is what you would call him, opposite of Diamond Dallas Page. They were called the Unholy Two. Now, there has been no news or updates on whether Diamond Dallas Page will be returning to reprise his role, but at this point, I think he would. I can't see
Yeah.
why he wouldn't.
Yeah, I don't think he would have a problem with it, and he seemed to really chew the scenery when it came to being in that movie. Those two are very memorable characters, and DDP still looks pretty good for his age. And if you've seen The Devil's Rejects, he wasn't exactly a prize picture there. So the age, the amount of time that passed between The Devil's Rejects and now, it doesn't really matter. Danny Trejo and DDP will only look great, on set.
So, on top of Danny Trejo, we've also got Austin Stoker, from the original Assault on Precinct 13. He has joined the cast.
Awesome movie.
Yeah, I believe he is some type of newscaster, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yes, he's playing some type of newscaster. Also joining is Dee Wallace, who is, I don't believe she's any stranger to a Rob Zombie film.
And she's just wonderful.
At least I thought she was in a previous Rob Zombie film, but I think I might be wrong. But I mean, Dee Wallace from E.T. and, The Howling. And you know what? I believe she was a recent guest on Gilbert Gottfried's Amazing Colossal podcast.
Oh, right on.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, it was probably a good episode. I mean, she's been. I went to her IMDb page. I know what movies she's been in, but when you go to her IMDb page, you don't realize how many movies she's been in. Like, I was going through it, and I'm like, wow, she's got like 230 something roles. Like, spend an evening, go through it.
Jeff Daniel Phillips, otherwise known as Uncle Seymour Coffins from Zombies Halloween 2, is also joining the cast. I don't think we know exactly who he's playing. It'd be kind of cool to see a cameo from Uncle Coffins, but we don't know for sure. But he is part of the cast now. Let's see.
Yeah, quite a bit. A lot of newcomers that I'm not exactly familiar with. One of the newscasters from the original Devil's Rejects. I keep saying the original, but Devil's Rejects. Daniel Roebuck is going to be back.
Yes.
He was one of those talk show hosts when they were talking about the Satanism and things like that. I think it was that scene.
Yes. Yep. Correct.
Emilio Rivera, you might not know him from any of Rob Zombie's movies, but if you're a fan of Sons of Anarchy, you definitely know him. He's going to be in the new Sons of Anarchy spin-off show for the Mayans, but he has joined the cast, which I'm going to speculate that he might be joining with Danny Trejo. They may be adding another like bounty hunter or something to their group. That comes from nothing, but I just have this feeling that he looks like he's going to be another one of those characters.
A really interesting addition is Clint Howard playing a character by the name of Mr. Baggy Britches, another clown.
Yeah, I'm very curious about that, especially, and I don't want to dive too much into it, but remember LR's speculation about like possible imposters?
Yeah, I do, but I don't think this is an imposter. I'm thinking this is more of some type of acquaintance to Captain Spaulding.
That could be possible, or maybe somebody that's filled the void. Somebody that moved in and on his territory if they had died. I mean, it really depends on the way they're going with the script. We're never going to know until we start getting some information. But it is intriguing that they're bringing another clown into the fold.
Well, technically not the only clown, though. I mean, we're also getting one of the clowns from Rob Zombie's movie 31.
One of the clowns, or are we getting two?
Well, the other
I haven't seen the movie, so
yeah. Okay, so the one character from 31 was named Schizohead, and he was dressed up like a clown in 31. What is that actor's name? David Uri. So he is joining the cast as well, and he did portray a clown in 31. And we also got Pancho Moller, who in the concept art for 31 was a clown. In the movie, though, they completely changed his design, which I was not happy about. And
yeah, I really need to see this to finally understand where these connections are coming from.
And Pancho played a character named Sickhead in 31. Definitely a fun character. One of the better characters in the movie, aside from Doomhead. The only two, honestly, redeemable characters in the entire film. But he, too, is joining the cast of Three from Hell. As who? Don't know.
Who knows?
We're probably not going to find out anything like that for quite a while. But he is part of the cast now.
And finally, El Super Beasto himself, Tom Papa, is joining the cast, and he voiced and helped. I believe he helped write El Super Beasto, at least the animated feature, if I recall correctly. He's a hell of a voice actor and a character all to himself. So it's nice to see Zombie finally bringing him into the fold. You know, just to really not exploit, but like to really showcase his talent.
Yeah, I actually like the haunted world of El Super Beasto. I thought it was just a funky film.
Really fun.
Yeah, it was. I haven't seen it in a little while, but it used to be on, I don't know, one of like the paid movie stations for like a month or two, and I remember every time it came on, I would watch it, and it was just funky. Just really funky. Lots of characters from from Rob Zombie's movies were in it. Like Otis was in it, and Captain Spaulding was in it.
And which they had also a real fun little cameo in it as well. Back when she was still alive, Tora Satana reprised her role as what am I forgetting her name right now? Her name, but the character from Faster Pussycat Kill Kill.
Oh yes.
So that was unique, you know. Like it's just a small voice acting role, but like after all these years, she came back. Varla, that was her name. She came back and played Varla, even if it's just for a few seconds. It was neat.
Yeah, we saw that movie at the Alamo a couple years ago.
Yes, sir. It was a great time. And I met her. I met her years ago at a Chiller Theater. She was such a sweetheart. And I just recently like got in contact with her daughter because she plays the same video game as me, which is pretty cool. I might be interviewing her soon for the website.
Nice. So that rounds up all the casting news we have missed in the last couple weeks on Three from Hell. I'm sure there's going to be a slew of more coming up. As I said, we should be getting Diamond Dallas Page soon. I would assume. Don't quote me on it, but I would just assume it.
All right. I think that's fair.
All right, so that is going to wrap it up for this week in horror news. Now we are going to go ahead and move into. Looks like we have a pressure rising segment this week.
Zipping my lips.
Yes, good. So, moving into this week's pressure rising.
It sickens me to watch you. All I ever do is cry. Do my best to kill you because all of you must die. And although I created you, I have always hated you. Fuck this place.
And just like with anything regarding, it seems like the movie DC world could be construed as a fucking pressure rising segment.
Pretty much.
But recently Zack Snyder has been pretty active on social media. I've seen some of it here and some of it there. I try not to follow too much DC news in terms of movies anymore because it's very depressing.
Yeah, to say the least.
But he's been kind of, I don't know what you would call it.
It feels like an apology tour.
It's almost like Damage Control.
Yeah, exactly. It's very bizarre.
Um, you've probably been following it a little bit more closely than me because you're more of a DC fan than I am.
Yes.
But what exactly has he been trying to control?
I don't know if it's necessarily a control sort of thing, but it's like people ask him questions on social media, and he's not shy about responding to, the slew of questions he gets about Man of Steel, Batman versus Superman, Justice League, and the future for that matter. Um, my issue with everything is the fact that these websites pick on like every word that he says and like have to kind of take the reins with it and make it into a bigger story than it actually is. And
Yeah, they deconstruct everything he says into its most
yeah,
basic form.
yeah, and what's really bizarre about it is it comes off like he's being very desperate to try to explain what he intended to do in various scenes, or like if I had more time here it would have been this, or if I made another movie it would have been that. And I had an Easter egg in this scene, or like I connected it here. Like it's really bad filmmaking. And like I like Zack Snyder in certain aspects. I like a handful of his movies, but it's really bad filmmaking characteristic if you have to explain every little detail in order for it to make sense as a film. And like fans have questions, I get that. He's happy to oblige them, but on the same token, like he's bringing out these things in the movies now that were basically just kind of panned over in the movies or didn't make sense because of unnecessary cuts or too long of cuts and things like that. And it comes off like desperate of trying to get some sort of reclaiming on the I guess goal that he had in making the movie. It I don't know, it seems a little desperate to me.
The way I take it is movies, in my opinion, now everyone may not share this opinion, but it is my opinion. Movies are art. Whether it is a piece of like just schlock, like I Drink Your Blood, or fucking Freaked, you know,
Hmm.
it's still art. Or whether it's a undoubtedly beautiful masterpiece like The Godfather, or I don't think so, but everybody else in this world seems to think so, Citizen Kane. There are two ends. They're two. You got one on the side, one on the side. They're two ends of the same line. They're still art. Now, like with any kind of art, whether you're talking movies, written, drawn, painted, sculpted, music, all of these things, in my opinion, are art. When you get to the point where you have to explain your art to the most minuscule detail, it no longer is art. You don't explain art. You don't go up to a Picasso, and have someone explain it to you. You don't look at some of the world's best written songs by people like Peter Gabriel or Paul Simon, who I think are two of the all-time greatest songwriters. You don't ask to have their songs explained to you. You don't ask someone to explain Da Vinci to you. You don't do that stuff. But when it comes to the point and you need someone to break down everything in your piece of art, you have successfully, and without a doubt, killed your own art.
I'd like to jump off of that and make one small point in defense of, like the opposite side of the coin. Um, when your art is a Da Vinci and you turned it into the art proprietor or whatever you want to call it, and the guy's like, you know what? this painting would look better with googly eyes and a big smile. Let me paint that on really quick. I could understand the temptation of wanting to clarify what your original intent was for the art. And it is no secret that with Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, and Justice League, Warner Brothers meddled in the art that he was trying to make. And I could respect where he's coming from as a filmmaker. I could appreciate the frustration for the vision not being his true vision. And that's, like I said before, the temptation of wanting to clarify different things that he wanted to do, or things that he had going for it that didn't translate well in the final product or the final edit. But on the same token, for better or for worse, you need to back up your art, no matter what. Whatever the case, the film industry is a weird, and I don't know, weird machine right now, where the studios are a lot more involved in, like the direction of where these big blockbuster pictures go. And there's talks about, like a lot of movies being made under a committee versus one individual director's vision, and that's obviously the case with Justice League. But at the same time, you signed up for it, the nature of the beast, and you have to stand by your movie regardless. And I don't think explaining it or clarifying or pointing out every little minute detail is going to make it any better. It just seems like you're kind of grasping on to what once was that never became. And I think it's time for him to move on, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, I can't argue with that too much. I mean, when somebody else is trying to, if you're trying to sculpt something and somebody just kind of shoves their hand, sneakily in and begins messing with maybe an eye you sculpted, or whatever, and they start to alter what you've already done, it's hard to I don't know what the right word
Accept
is. Yeah, accept it and defend it, and it's like, well, this is not what not I did not see this eyeball being shaped this way. That's not how I envisioned it. But now I have to make it work with the rest of the face. So,
Yeah, exactly.
so
It's a tough pill to swallow, I think.
well, yeah, of course.
But
It,
like we're how long removed from these movies already? Like it's the damage is done, the opinions are out there. I don't think any amount of talking about it's really going to fix it.
yeah, I guess he doesn't want to, step in and just completely burn his bridges over at WB and DC in terms of saying, this is not how, maybe like this scene or this part of the movie was not how I wanted it to go, but it wasn't my call. I guess he's just trying to play the middle of the field as much as possible.
Yeah, I think he wants to get some of it out there, just so his own name isn't dragged through the mud, like worse than it already is. He wants to just say, hey, like I had this in mind, or hey, I put that in there because of that, and he's trying to, I guess, bridge all of this stuff and try to have it make sense for the fans, and at the same time, not step on any toes. So, like, I can understand the where he's coming from with it all, but on the same token, it's like, let it go, man. Let's stop making big stupid news pieces, and just get on with the next film.
Yeah, which, God, at this point, we're not going to be getting for still like another year. What is it, Aquaman?
I don't even know when that comes out.
Yeah, we got a good year before the next DC movie at this point. And by the time that happens, we're obviously gonna have Infinity War, and what else is coming out? Are we gonna have Ant-Man and the
Ant-Man.
Wasp?
Yeah, Deadpool.
Deadpool 2? I'm sure there's one or two other movies in there, Marvel movies. I don't know. I'm just really excited for Ant-Man and Wasp, but
Yeah, same here. Every time I see that, what was it? The Pez dispenser getting thrown and
oh yes, the Hello Kitty Pez dispenser.
yeah. Every time I see that, I'm just like, I can't fucking wait for this movie.
All right, so now that we've kind of transitioned into comics, let's just go ahead and dive right into this week's geek and comic discussion. Yes, we have a bumper. Okay, so we are already running late on tonight's episode.
Sorry about that.
So we are going to go ahead and push off some of the other news we were going to talk about this week. In term for geek and comic news anyway, and we will touch on it next week. It'll be good to save it. And we're just going to go ahead and dive right into this week's main discussion and main topic, which happens to revolve around the video I put out last night, which is a Infinity War theory video. Basically what it is, if you haven't seen it yet, it's my take on what exactly is going to happen at the end of the movie, where the Avengers are going to stand, where Thanos is going to stand, and most importantly, where the Soul Stone is and how that is going to be introduced. Now, again, this is just theories. I really don't have anything to base any of what I said in this video. There's no real facts. It's the video I did obviously list some facts. I mean, we do know a good amount just from trailers, and I kind of just jumped off of that. So basically, I don't think that the final Infinity Stone, which we haven't seen yet, the Soul Stone, is on Earth. I believe that it is elsewhere. It is very possible that it is on Earth, but I really truly want to believe that it isn't. I want to believe that the Soul Stone resides with Adam Warlock, and we will be getting an after credits tease with him hatching from his cocoon with the Soul Stone.
I like the way that works a lot better than the rumors that have been going around pertaining to the Soul Stone.
Yeah, there's two really big rumors right now with the Soul Stone, and I don't like either one. Now, one I can be okay with because it does make sense, and I touch on that in the video. I'm not going to touch on it here, so just go watch the video. But the other big one is that Heimdall is the Soul Stone, or possesses the Soul Stone, which is why he's so powerful.
Seems really random and out of nowhere with very little build-up.
Yeah, it would just be like, I don't know, if like, Tony Stark was just walking up to the rest of the Avengers and he reached in his pocket and it was just like, oh, check it out, I got an Infinity Stone, So it would, I wouldn't hate it 100% because it would make Heimdall, a very underutilized character in the MCU right now, a more important character. And I would be 100% okay with that. I just don't like how it would have progressed into that, though.
Yeah, I think there was a few missing bridges to get there.
Exactly.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was trying to say, but you articulated it better than me.
Fair enough.
But I do believe there is not a doubt in my mind that we will be getting some type of first look at Adam Warlock. Whether he has the Infinity Stone, the Soul Stone, or not, is anyone's guess. But there's going to be no way in hell that they do not introduce him, make mention of him. I think we're going to see him. I also think we're going to see at least one or two other really big, heavy hitters in the Marvel universe that we haven't seen yet. But again, I don't have anything to really go on. It's just that they're going to need to push the envelope a little bit and start to introduce some really, really big and unique names. Now, obviously, we're getting a lot of new characters with Thanos' Black Order, but the Black Order is a group of characters who are very, very new in the Marvel comic universe. Most of those characters really made their debuts during the Infinity storyline from a couple years ago. So they're not really like big name characters that a lot of, casual comic fans will recognize, and they're not going to be any type of big name draw like a character like Adam Warlock would be, or some of the other characters I think we might see in some shape or form are the embodiments of Eternity and Oblivion and Infinity. These are all actually characters within the Marvel comic universe, more of like godly entities though.
I think the Black Order are going to be more along the lines of distractions for the Avengers. It's going to be the way to split up the entire team while Thanos gets what he needs done. I don't think they're going to have necessarily this big name draw, like you said, or they're really going to have much more to do beyond being mini bosses until while Thanos becomes more powerful.
Which is very similar to how they were in the Infinity storyline, the comic storyline. But I do have to say that one of the best parts of that, I think it was a six issue series with probably about 30, 40, or 50, tie-ins from other ongoing series. But the main Infinity storyline was 6 issues, I believe. I have them all. And one of the best parts of that particular storyline was the battle at Wakanda. It was amazing. The panels and the actual what was going on there. Black Panther was battling, I believe, Black Maw, and who was like the biggest and strongest of the Black Order, and he absolutely just beats the shit out of them in the comics. So definitely a highlight, and the fact that they're actually giving us that battle in Infinity War is, that really got me excited.
Yeah, I agree. Everything looks like it's going to be pretty much top notch, the battles and everything like that. I was a little concerned that the team looks very segmented through the trailers, and rightfully so, because where Avengers, or actually Winter Soldier, am I saying Winter Soldier? Captain America, the Captain America, help me out here. What movie is it called?
What I don't know.
The most recent Captain America.
Civil War?
Civil War, thank you. Where the team pretty much left off there, the Avengers should be segmented, and they should be caught off guard by the Black Order, because it's just that's where the entire team has gone to. And I think by the end of the movie, they're going to realize that they can't do it alone or separated like it's showing in the trailers, but they have to team up and everything. So I'm really intrigued by the fact that it's going to be different attacks in different areas, because that not only helps with character development for those essentially Thanos' goons, but we're going to get a little bit of more uniqueness pertaining to each of those characters because of the amount of time they're going to be able to spend with them in each location, like New York City, Wakanda, and various other places. I think there's going to be some in space because of the Guardians and everything. So I think they went a very good route with it, and at the same time, we're going to be able to see things that we've seen in the comics, like you said before.
Yeah, it looks like there's going to be about 3 or 4 segmented teams, and I can only assume they're each going to have their own subplots and storylines that are probably really all going to converge rather, in the next movie.
Yeah, I mean, I guess my worry was more along the lines of me wanting to see the big team up battle already. You know what I mean? It's better storytelling for them to be segmented and then eventually team up for the next movie and give us exactly what we want. But like, as a comic fan who's been waiting forever for this, like, we're like, no, get the whole gang together in the first 2 hours. I want to see this giant battle. But this giant battle is going to span two very long movies, and bring it on.
Yeah, I think this movie is going to really give us, for anyone who's familiar with the comic series of the Thanos Quest, I think it's going to encapsulate that plus a portion of the Infinity storyline. And then I think the next movie, Avengers 4, is really going to dive into the full Infinity Gauntlet storyline. Now, obviously, that's the whole point of this movie, but as I said, that was also the point of the Thanos Quest miniseries back in the 90s. Before the Infinity Gauntlet actually happened, it was Thanos going around and actually collecting all the stones himself. He visits the collector and gets the stone from him in the Thanos Quest comics. And then it wasn't until, obviously, the Infinity Gauntlet storyline that all of these heroes came together and all did battle with him. So I think we will see that in the second movie, and this movie is just going to be this insanely awesome prelude to that.
It's very exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing it. And good news about that, I am going to 7:00 showing on that Thursday.
I can't believe it.
Like, me see a Marvel movie, the opening night.
Yeah,
It's been a minute. I mean, when was it? When I was living in the last house?
yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, man, we need to get the gang back together and go see some of these.
Everyone is all over the place.
Okay, then we need to get the tag team back together. Yeah, I'm here. Should come up here and we'll see a movie. I'll get us some free tickets.
Well, I will keep that in mind for the next one.
Yes.
So yeah, so we're only like 4 weeks away, not even less at this point. It's going to be a slog getting to April 27th now, but I'm really looking forward to it. Glad I got my ticket already, and it's going to be an event.
Yeah, I think we should definitely dedicate the first week of May. I think it was the first week of May's Way of Life Live to that movie, because me and you, we usually go on, like, when we see the movie after, we always have a huge conversation about it. So May 2nd, look for that.
Yeah, but are we going to do spoiler discussion since we're both going to have seen it already, or what?
Yeah, like, we'll do a huge spoiler warning in the very beginning. Maybe I'll by then I'll make us a new overlay so we could announce that there would be spoilers in it. And yeah, let's fucking just blow everything up. And so like everybody that's listening now and things like that, if you are very much interested in the Avengers thing, try to go see it opening weekend and then join us and we'll have a big discussion in the chat. You know, like we'll talk, we'll address people that are in the chat, we'll answer questions and give opinions, and let's make it a fun little event.
Yeah, let's do that.
I like that.
Speaking of events, do you have anything planned for Friday the 13th?
I don't have plans for Friday the 13th because you have plans for Friday the 13th.
The hell does
So
that have to do with anything? No.
no, I don't have Dead Entertainment Friday the 13th plans. Let's just say that. However, I'm gonna put you on a spot here too. This coming Monday, are you down for a little Friday the 13th game streaming?
Monday?
Monday.
Oh, what's Monday? Monday, that's the day after WrestleMania.
Yes.
I will have to get back to you on that either tomorrow or Friday, but maybe.
Right on. Let me know because Dead Entertainment just launched their Twitch channel. You could check it out.
Ooh.
Twitch. Shut up about your Twitch crap. Check it out at twitch.tv/Dead Entertainment site. And follow us there. We have our very own Brandon Evans. He's our main host over there. And he is basically every Monday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. He's going to be streaming some horror games and trying to add a little fun to our Dead Entertainment site. So this past week, he did Amnesia, which was a lot of fun. He was throwing various candlesticks and books at hissing cockroaches and jumping at exploding cockroaches. A lot of cockroaches in this game, apparently. But we decided on the stream that we're going to be doing a Dead Entertainment Friday the 13th PC thing coming this coming Monday, which is, I don't even know what date that is. April 9th.
Oh, 9. Really?
9th. So, yeah. So we're Dead Entertainment's not going to have a Friday the 13th stream on Friday the 13th, so we're going to have a little fun with it and try to do like this big event Friday the 13th gaming thing. We're going to try to get staff members to jump in and play PC. What I want to do, like if in a perfect world, Bates could jump on his stream on Live Deliciously in Game and join us in our Discord and everything like that, and we could have like this big Friday the 13th I don't know, like a team up or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I'll keep that in mind. I'm still trying to finish planning out my Friday the 13th stream for 2 weeks.
Right on. So depending on my work schedule, actually, you know what? I know my work schedule. So I'm probably going to hang out with you on your Friday the 13th stream because I am off the Saturday after. So let's do that.
Oh, nice. As of right now, I'm thinking, because there are a couple of posted full versions of a few of the movies, and I'm just gonna watch them and see exactly how they look. I think they are sped up a little bit to possibly avoid copyright claims or strikes or whatever. So I'm going to just go ahead and skim through 1 or 2 of them, see how that goes. And I'm thinking about instead of doing like an all-day gameplay thing again, maybe just watch 1 or 2 of the movies, stream them on my channel, and just bullshit around like that.
Yeah, that sounds fun. I'd probably be cool with that. I mean, I don't think I want to do 7 hours again because I slept for Lord knows how long after that stream, but that was a lot of fun. And that original Friday the 13th stream back in September, October?
October, yeah.
Yeah, that was basically what kicked off this show. Like we had a lot of fun that night. We streamed games and chat and script reads and all sorts of crazy shit for 7 hours. And I was like, why aren't we doing this live every week? And since then, we've been doing it, minus a few weeks here and there,
Indeed.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to the various things we got going next week. So join me and Brandon Evans and possibly Bates here Monday the 9th at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time for the our Dead Entertainment Twitch stream. Maybe his Live Deliciously game stream. Depends on how things work. And you know the time schedule for your thing, so floor is yours.
Yeah. I don't know. Usually when I stream, I start around 9 o'clock, but I'm still working out a few more kinks on things. So we'll see.
We'll see.
Yes. So I think that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for us tonight. It was good getting back into the groove of things. We have news pieces we didn't hit tonight. We'll hit them next week. And we're gonna go ahead and just get into some shout outs, if any. What do you got this week?
When do I ever have shout outs?
In the very beginning you had shout outs all the time.
Yeah, I know, but then I got lazy because I'm like putting together the episode, and that's what my mind's on. And when it comes to shouting out, I'm like, I don't really appreciate anybody right now. You know what? I'm gonna shout out Chris Harris right here in the chat, because even despite us having like 2-3 weeks off in this last month, he's still here. Like he still popped back in and checked us out. We have a few more viewers / listeners tonight, which is awesome. I don't know who you are, but welcome. That's pretty much the extent.
Yeah, make yourself known.
Chat a little bit. Come hang out next week. Like we like if something cool pops up in the chat, not only do we respond in the chat, but we'll talk about it. We'll jump into the conversation a little bit and make it interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's another big part of this show. So glad we have a couple more viewers this week. That's pretty cool. But definitely interact. We don't really moderate a whole lot of things here, as long as it's not racist or.
Just don't act a fool, and you'll be good.
Yeah, it's really about it. Just don't. Nothing racist, and personally, I don't. In my streams, no political talk either.
And also no feet talk. You remember that weirdo that was in the Friday the 13th stream?
Oh yeah, Fabian. Yeah, he actually won something for me.
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
That's creepy. Did you like send them toenail clippings or something?
You know what? It was weird and kind of odd, but I that's also part of the stream, so I kind of dug it. So.
Alrighty then. Moving along to the let's land this creaky plane.
Yeah, I'm gonna eventually get a nice write out of all the people I want to give their shout outs and plugs to. Just real quick, obviously our friends over at Fright Rags, we always give them shout outs. Been fans and supporters of theirs for a very long time. They got some cool stuff coming out this month, so check them out. I'm sure we'll have a write-up or two on deadentertainment.com. Also, make sure to check out deadentertainment.com. I'm sure you guys already know that, but we do write for them. Articles, news pieces, all kinds of fun stuff like that. So definitely check that out.
Let me cut in real quick. Sorry. We're going to be doing some themed content this month, which is pretty awesome. Being that Friday the 13th is right around the corner, I kind of wanted us to have some Friday the 13th pieces, as if our site didn't have enough of them. So we're going to have some like special articles throughout the month that celebrate Friday the 13th and, the game, the movies, the convention experiences and stuff like that. I'm going to be writing something that I renamed to better not be ripping people off. I'm going to call the column Convention Rewind, and I'm going to write an article about my very first convention, which was a Friday the 13th reunion. So look for that on Dead Entertainment. We have various pieces that we're going to be posting up throughout the month. So, it's going to be fun. I think next month we're going to try to tackle the whole Memorial Day / shark / piranha type movies, like the summer movies of horror. So keep an eye out on that stuff.
Oh, your first convention. Quick note about that. The very first convention, first convention that he went to, me and Mungus did not know each other, but we were both there.
That's so weird to me.
That convention was probably my second, third, or even possibly fourth convention at that point. And I was, 15 or 16. So back to my plugs and shout outs. Also, obviously, always my friends over at Gray Matter Art. make sure you guys check them out if you're looking for any really cool posters or prints. You know, I always give shout outs to those guys. They put out some great stuff. They just released a beautiful Avengers poster, a nice new one. So check that out, and they got some other cool stuff coming up in the coming weeks. And then just a quick plug on my channel over at Live Deliciously in Game. Anyone who has not entered in the Friday the 13th giveaway, make sure you do that. I have a video up. Go find the video. Just follow the instructions, and you're entered. And we'll be picking a winner on the Friday the 13th stream. And the prize is a secret. I'll be revealing what the prize is on that stream, obviously. But for right now, it's a secret, but it's a good one. You guys don't want to miss it.
Do you even have it picked it out?
Yeah, I have.
That was sweet. You got to tell me after the stream. Speaking of which, I'm going to go enter. Y'all losing.
No. You can't enter.
You said I could last time, damn it.
You can enter for that Prometheus poster. I'll give you
Okay.
I'll give you permission for that, but not for this one. You know, I've actually got a couple of entrants. I think I even got another entrant earlier today. And I got a lot of new subs from the Monster Mania stuff, so I definitely want to be able to have those people have a chance to win something pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm just messing around. Congratulations on over 100 subs now.
Yeah. Whoa.
Good job. Now let's get some of those people over here. So they got to listen to us babble about horror shit. Come on.
I plug the this channel on my streams. I mean, I have Nightbot dropping links in every 15 or 20 minutes.
Yeah, the hill's tough to climb, especially with that being more game oriented and this being more chat and conversational. And I mean, it's different worlds, different fandoms. So
well, maybe once we start posting up more of those little 3 to 5 minute videos like I did on my theory video, maybe that'll draw more people in as more content is flowing through.
Definitely. Look at it right there. Bates' theory, what happens at Avengers Infinity War. I know you heard a little bit about that tonight, but if you want more, and it's very detailed, he fit a lot of information into 5 minutes. On my screen right now, I see it. I'm going to click it right after this and watch it again. You should too.
And I'm just kind of looking. I see we got over 450 views on the We Were Jason.
Oh, very nice.
I just happened to see that. That's
if you haven't watched that, go over and check that out too. I mean, we have a lot of cool little things coming.
Yeah, it's only gonna grow at this point. I am dropping a link to my theory video in case anyone hasn't seen it, which is like everybody because it doesn't have that many views, but is what it is.
You need to finally put Twitter on your phone so you could tweet it out to our 10 followers on Twitter. And I wish it was horror related because I'd put it on Dee.
Yeah, well, when I post something on here, I tweet it out to my followers. I have a few more followers than the Way of Life.
That's true. I'm gonna go retweet it myself after this. We keep delaying this landing. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys. So thank you so much for hanging out and coming back. We are finally back after a 2-week hiatus, so we should be good moving forward for the coming weeks until I have to eventually move. But at this point, I have no idea when that's going to be. So we'll play that by ear.
I have some plans for that. So we'll talk, like a week or two.
All right. So thank you guys for hanging out. We appreciate it. And we will definitely see you here next week. Same time, 8 p.m. Eastern time, same channel. Yeah, I guess that's about it. Thank you guys one more time. And remember.
What do you think this is all about? What do you think this is all about? You think this is a fucking costume? This is a way of life.